Journey through ancient civilizations, a gentle sleep story. Close your eyes and let your breathing slow. Feel your body sinking into comfort as we begin our peaceful journey through time, visiting the gentle moments of ancient civilizations. Let each word carry you deeper into relaxation as we explore the quiet beauty of the past. Chapter 1: The Fertile Crescent, Dawn of Civilization. Imagine yourself floating gently above the ancient land of Mesopotamia, where the first cities emerged like flowers blooming in a garden of time. The morning sun casts a golden glow across the fertile plains between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Below, the peaceful settlement of Uruk awakens slowly, its mud brick buildings warming in the gentle light. You drift down like a soft breeze, observing the quiet rhythm of daily life. Farmers tend to their barley fields with careful, meditative movements. The irrigation channels flow with a soothing babble, carrying life-giving water to crops that sway gently in the morning air. Women knead bread dough with practiced hands, their movements as rhythmic as a lullaby. Children play simple games with clay marbles, their laughter floating on the warm breeze. In the temple courtyard, scribes work quietly with their reed styluses, creating the world's first writing on soft clay tablets. Their cuneiform marks are like tiny bird tracks in wet sand, each symbol a doorway to human thought. The sound of their work is barely audible, a gentle scratching that blends with the whisper of wind through date palms. As evening approaches, families gather around small fires, sharing simple meals of bread, dates, and fish from the rivers. Stories are told in soft voices, tales of gods and heroes that will echo through millennia. The stars begin to appear overhead, and you feel yourself becoming one with the peaceful night sky, ready to drift to the next destination in your journey through time. Breathe deeply. Let the warmth of ancient Mesopotamia fill your lungs. Feel the peace of humanity's first steps toward civilization. Chapter 2: The Nile's Gentle Embrace, Ancient Egypt. The scene shifts like a dream, and you find yourself floating above the great river Nile, its waters reflecting the soft light of dawn. The river moves with ancient patience, carrying the gift of life through the desert. Papyrus reeds sway gently in the shallows, their movements hypnotic and soothing. You descend to observe a small farming village near Memphis, where the people live in harmony with the river's rhythms. It's the season of the flood, when the Nile spreads its rich, dark silt across the fields. Families have moved to higher ground, where they spend their days in quiet activities. Children learn to weave baskets from dried reeds, their small fingers working with focused concentration. In a nearby workshop, artisans create beautiful objects with meditative precision. A potter shapes clay on his wheel, the wet earth spinning hypnotically under his gentle touch. The rhythm of his foot on the pedal creates a soft, steady beat that seems to echo the heartbeat of the earth itself. Nearby, a weaver works at her loom, creating linen as fine as spider silk, each thread carefully placed with infinite patience. As the day progresses, you visit the great library of Alexandria, centuries later, but still part of this timeless dream. Scholars move quietly among countless scrolls, their sandaled feet making no sound on the polished floor. The air is filled with the scent of papyrus and ink, and shafts of sunlight filter through high windows, illuminating dust motes that dance like tiny spirits. In the evening, a family gathers on their rooftop, watching the stars emerge in the clear desert sky. The father points out constellations to his children, teaching them the stories that have been passed down through generations. The mother hums a gentle lullaby, an ancient melody that seems to capture the eternal flow of the Nile itself. Feel the gentle current of the Nile flowing through your dreams. Let the wisdom of ancient Egypt settle over you like a soft blanket. Chapter 3: The Indus Valley. Harmony in simplicity. Your journey continues eastward, and you find yourself in the Indus Valley, where the cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro nestle peacefully along the riverbanks. These ancient settlements seem to breathe with quiet contentment, their straight streets and well-planned buildings speaking of a civilization that valued order and harmony. You float through the streets, observing the gentle daily routines of the people. In the great bath at Mohenjo-Daro, people gather for ritual cleansing. The water is calm and still, reflecting the faces of those who come seeking purification and peace. You visit a marketplace where traders speak in soft voices, their transactions conducted with mutual respect and fairness. The weights and measures are standardized, showing a society that values honesty and precision. As twilight approaches, families gather in their courtyards, protected by walls that keep out the dust and heat of the day. Oil lamps flicker gently, casting warm shadows on the walls. The sound of conversation is muted and peaceful, like water flowing over smooth stones. Let their sense of order and peace flow into your own being. Chapter 4: The Yellow River. Wisdom of the East. Where the Shaya dynasty rules along the banks of the Yellow River, the landscape is one of rolling hills and fertile valleys, where rice paddies reflect the sky like mirrors. Bamboo groves whisper in the breeze, their leaves creating a soft, rustling lullaby that seems to contain the wisdom of ages. You observe a village where life moves with the seasons. It's autumn, and the harvest is in full swing. Farmers work with quiet efficiency, their movements synchronized like a slow dance. The sound of rice being threshed creates a gentle rhythm, and the air is filled with the golden dust of grain. Children help their parents, learning the ancient ways through patient observation and practice. Each character is created with mindful precision, the ink flowing like water. The sound of brush on paper is barely audible, like the whisper of wind through silk. As evening approaches, you visit a tea ceremony in a simple wooden pavilion. The tea master moves with deliberate slowness, each gesture part of an ancient ritual. The water boils with a gentle bubbling sound, and the steam rises like incense. The first sip of tea is like tasting liquid tranquility, and you feel the deep peace that comes from this simple act of mindfulness. Outside, a garden designer tends to his creation, a miniature landscape that captures the essence of mountains and valleys in a few carefully placed stones and plants. The sound of water trickling through a small stream creates a constant, soothing presence. Carp swim lazily in a pond, their movements slow and hypnotic. Let the wisdom of ancient China flow through you like a gentle stream. Feel the peace that comes from living in harmony with nature. Chapter 5. The Aegean Dreams, Crete and the Minoans. The scene shifts to the Mediterranean, where the island of Crete emerges from the blue waters like a jewel. The Minoan civilization flourishes here in peaceful splendor. Their palace at Knossos, a testament to their love of beauty and art. The sea breeze carries the scent of olive groves and wild herbs, creating an atmosphere of timeless tranquility. You float through the palace corridors, admiring the vibrant frescoes that decorate the walls. Dolphins leap through painted waves, their joy captured for eternity. Young men and women dance with bulls in scenes that speak of courage and grace, their movements frozen in time like a beautiful dream. The colors are soft and faded now, but they still hold the warmth of the Mediterranean sun. In the palace workshops, artisans create delicate pottery with intricate designs. The potter's wheel turns slowly, and the clay rises under skilled hands like a flower blooming. Nearby, a goldsmith works with precious metals, creating jewelry that captures the light like captured sunbeams. The sound of hammering is gentle and rhythmic, like a distant heartbeat. The Queen's chamber is a place of quiet elegance, where ladies in waiting arrange flowers in tall vases. The scent of jasmine and roses fills the air, and sheer curtains billow gently in the sea breeze. You can hear the distant sound of waves against the shore, a constant, soothing presence that seems to rock the entire palace like a giant cradle. In the evening, you visit the harbor where fishing boats return with their catch. The fishermen work with quiet efficiency, their movements practiced and sure. The sound of water lapping against the hulls creates a gentle rhythm, and seabirds call softly overhead. The sunset paints the sky in shades of pink and gold, and you feel the deep peace that comes from living in harmony with the sea. Feel the gentle rhythm of the Mediterranean waves. Let the beauty of Minoan art and culture wash over you like a warm tide. Chapter 6. The Himalayan Awakening. Early Buddhism, your journey takes you to the foothills of the Himalayas, where the young prince Siddhartha sits beneath the Bodhi tree, seeking enlightenment. The air is thin and clear, filled with the scent of mountain flowers and the sound of wind through leaves. Prayer flags flutter gently in the breeze, their bright colors carrying wishes and hopes to the heavens. You observe the moment of awakening when Siddhartha becomes the Buddha. The scene is perfectly still, as if all of nature holds its breath. The morning light filters through the leaves, creating patterns of light and shadow that seem to dance with cosmic significance. Birds sing softly in the distance, and the sound of a distant stream creates a peaceful backdrop to this momentous event. In the weeks that follow, you witness the first teachings in the deer park at Sarnath. The Buddha's voice is gentle and clear, his words carrying the weight of infinite compassion. His disciples listen with rapt attention, their faces reflecting the peace that comes from understanding. The deer themselves seem to listen, their large eyes reflecting the wisdom being shared. You visit a monastery where monks practice meditation in silent halls. The sound of their breathing is like a gentle wind, and the air is filled with the scent of incense. Each monk sits in perfect stillness, their minds focused on the path to enlightenment. The peace in the room is so profound that you feel it settling into your own bones. As evening approaches, you observe the ritual of walking meditation. The monks move with slow, deliberate steps through a garden filled with lotus flowers. Each step is taken with mindful awareness, their feet barely making a sound on the soft earth. The lotus flowers bloom in the pond nearby, their petals opening like thoughts of compassion blooming in the mind. Feel the infinite compassion of the Buddha's teachings. Let the peace of meditation fill your heart and mind. Chapter 7. The Silk Road. Threads of Connection Time carries you to the Great Silk Road, that ancient network of trade routes that connected east and west. You find yourself in a caravanserai, a peaceful oasis where travelers rest and share stories. The courtyard is filled with the gentle sounds of camels chewing their cud and the soft murmur of conversation in many languages. A caravan has just arrived from distant lands, their camels laden with precious goods. Silk merchants carefully unpack their wares, the fabric shimmering in the lamplight like captured moonbeams. The silk is so fine it seems to float in the air, and you can almost hear the whisper of mulberry leaves and the gentle hum of silkworms that created this miracle. In another corner of the courtyard, a spice merchant displays his aromatic treasures. The scent of cinnamon, cardamom, and saffron fills the air, creating an olfactory symphony that speaks of distant lands and exotic gardens. Each spice tells a story of careful cultivation and long journeys, of monsoon rains and patient harvests. As night falls, travelers gather around a fire to share stories and songs. A musician plays a four-stringed lute, its melody floating on the night air like a prayer. The songs tell of distant homes and loved ones, of adventures on the road and the beauty of foreign lands. The fire crackles softly, and stars begin to appear in the clear desert sky. You visit the workshop of a master craftsman who creates beautiful carpets, each knot tied with meditative precision. The pattern grows slowly, like a garden blooming in yarn. The rhythm of his work is hypnotic, and the colors blend and flow like a river of artistic vision. The carpet will carry the dreams and hopes of its maker to distant lands, where it will grace the floor of a palace or the tent of a nomad. Feel the gentle rhythm of the Silk Road. Let the stories of distant lands and peaceful travelers weave through your dreams. Chapter 8: The Roman Bath, Leisure and Reflection. Your journey brings you to the height of the Roman Empire, but not to the battlefield or the forum. Instead, you find yourself in the baths of Caracalla, where Romans come to relax and restore their bodies and spirits. The vast halls echo with the gentle sound of flowing water and quiet conversation. You float through the tepidarium, where bathers relax in warm waters. The temperature is perfect, like being embraced by a gentle summer day. Marble columns rise toward a vaulted ceiling, and mosaics on the walls tell stories of Neptune and his sea creatures. The sound of water lapping against the sides of the pool creates a constant, soothing rhythm. In the caldarium, steam rises from the hot pools, creating a dreamy atmosphere where conversations are muted and movements are slow. Bathers sit in contemplative silence, letting the heat penetrate their muscles and the steam clear their minds. Slaves move quietly among them, offering towels and oils, their service rendered with gentle efficiency. The cold plunge pool in the frigidarium provides a sharp contrast, but even here, the atmosphere is one of peaceful renewal. The shock of cold water is followed by a feeling of invigoration, and you watch as bathers emerge, refreshed and revitalized, their faces glowing with health and contentment. In the exercise yards, men practice gentle calisthenics and wrestling, their movements controlled and respectful. The sound of their exertion is muted by the open sky above, and the afternoon sun warms their skin. It's competition without hostility, strength without aggression, a celebration of the human body's capabilities. As evening approaches, you observe the social aspects of the baths. Friends meet to discuss philosophy and politics, their conversations flowing like the water around them. The atmosphere is one of civility and mutual respect, a reminder that even in an empire built on conquest, there were moments of peace and contemplation. Let the warm waters of the Roman baths envelop you. Feel the peace that comes from taking time to care for your body and soul. Chapter 9. The Byzantine Garden. Eastern splendor, time flows forward, and you find yourself in Constantinople, the great city that bridges Europe and Asia. But instead of the bustling streets or the great cathedral, you discover a hidden garden within the imperial palace. Here, the Byzantine Empire shows its gentler face, its love of beauty and contemplation. The garden is a paradise of flowing water and blooming flowers. Fountains play in marble basins, their water catching the light like liquid diamonds. The sound of falling water creates a constant, peaceful backdrop to the garden's other gentle sounds. Peacocks strut across manicured lawns, their cries adding an exotic note to the afternoon air. In a shaded pavilion, court ladies work on intricate embroidery, their needles flashing in the dappled sunlight. The silk threads are as fine as spiderwebs, and the patterns they create tell stories of saints and angels, of gardens and palaces that exist in both this world and the next. Their conversation is soft and musical, like the whisper of silk on silk. A monk tends to a small scriptorium in one corner of the garden, carefully copying ancient texts onto vellum. His hand moves with practiced precision, creating letters that are works of art in themselves. The scratch of his quill is barely audible, but you can feel the weight of the knowledge he's preserving, the wisdom of centuries flowing through his patient work. As twilight approaches, the garden is lit by oil lamps that float in glass globes, creating pools of warm light among the shadows. The evening air is filled with the scent of jasmine and roses, and the sound of a distant choir drifts from the palace chapel. The music is ethereal and otherworldly, voices blending in harmonies that seem to bridge earth and heaven. You observe a chess game between two courtiers, their pieces carved from ivory and ebony. The game proceeds with thoughtful deliberation, each move considered carefully. The silence between moves is profound, filled with the weight of strategy and the beauty of the game itself. Feel the Byzantine blend of earthly beauty and spiritual aspiration. Let the scent of jasmine and the sound of fountains carry you deeper into peace. Chapter 10. The Monastery Garden. Medieval contemplation. Your journey takes you to medieval Europe, but away from the castles and battlefields. Instead, you find yourself in a monastery garden where monks have created a haven of peace and learning. The abbey bells ring softly in the distance, their bronze voices calling the faithful to prayer. The garden is laid out in neat beds, each one dedicated to a different purpose. In the herb garden, Brother Thomas tends to plants that will heal the sick and flavor the simple meals. The scent of thyme and rosemary fills the air, and bees hum lazily among the flowers. His movements are slow and deliberate, each action a form of prayer. In the scriptorium, monks labor over illuminated manuscripts, their work lit by tall windows that face east to catch the morning light. The vellum pages glow like captured sunlight, and the gold leaf in the initial letters seems to hold the fire of devotion. The scratch of quills and the soft shuffle of pages turning create a gentle rhythm of scholarship and faith. The monastery's water clock marks the hours with gentle chimes, its bronze mechanism moving with the precision of devotion. The sound of water flowing through the mechanism creates a constant, peaceful presence, a reminder of time's steady passage and the eternal nature of the soul. In the evening, you observe vespers in the chapel. The monks' voices rise in plain song, their melodies as ancient as the stones of the building itself. The chant flows like water, each note carefully placed, each voice blending with the others in perfect harmony. The sound seems to fill not just the chapel, but your entire being, carrying you to a place of profound peace. After the service, you walk with the monks through their cloister, the covered walkway that surrounds the central garden. Their sandaled feet make no sound on the worn stones, and their silence is comfortable and complete. The garden in the center is a perfect square of grass and flowers, a symbol of the order they seek to bring to their lives and the world. Feel the deep peace of monastic life. Let the rhythm of prayer and contemplation slow your breathing and quiet your mind. Chapter 11. The Islamic Garden. Paradise on earth, your journey continues to Al-Andalus, where Islamic civilization has created gardens that mirror the paradise described in the Quran. You find yourself in the Court of Lions at the Alhambra, where water, light, and architecture combine to create a space of transcendent beauty. The fountain at the center of the courtyard is supported by 12 marble lions, each one carved with exquisite detail. Water flows from their mouths in gentle streams, creating a sound like whispered prayers. The geometric patterns on the walls seem to breathe with mathematical perfection, each design reflecting the underlying order of creation. In the adjoining gardens, orange trees provide shade and perfume the air with their blossoms. The scent is intoxicating but gentle, like breathing in the essence of happiness itself. Water channels run between the planted beds, their surfaces reflecting the sky and the delicate arches of the surrounding buildings. A scholar sits in a small pavilion, reading from a manuscript of poetry. His voice is soft and melodious as he recites verses about love, loss, and the beauty of creation. The Arabic words flow like music, their meaning enhanced by the beauty of their sound. Nearby, a fountain plays softly, its rhythm matching the meter of the poetry. In the workshop of a master calligrapher, you observe the creation of a Quran page. The calligrapher's hand moves with fluid grace, each letter a perfect balance of spiritual meaning and artistic beauty. The ink flows like liquid prayer, and the finished page glows with inner light. The silence in the room is profound, broken only by the soft scratch of the reed pen and the gentle breathing of the artist. As night falls, you observe the evening prayer in the mosque. The faithful gather in silent rows, their movements synchronized in submission to the divine. The sound of their voices reciting the Quran creates a harmony that seems to resonate with the very stones of the building. After the prayer, they disperse quietly, their faces reflecting the peace that comes from communion with the eternal. Let the geometric perfection of Islamic art fill your vision. Feel the peace that comes from recognizing the underlying order of creation. Chapter 12. The Maya Observatory. Watching the stars' time carries you across the ocean to the Americas, where the Maya civilization flourishes in the jungles of the Yucatan. You find yourself at Chichen Itza, but not during the great ceremonies. Instead, you observe the quiet moments when astronomers study the stars and calculate the movements of celestial bodies. The observatory, called El Caracol, stands silhouetted against the night sky, its windows aligned to track the path of Venus across the heavens. Inside, a Maya astronomer carefully notes the position of planets on a stone tablet, his calculations precise and beautiful. The night air is filled with the sound of insects and the distant calls of night birds, creating a symphony of tropical peace. In the nearby forest, a shaman gathers herbs by moonlight, his movements guided by generations of accumulated wisdom. The plants he seeks have been used for healing and ceremony for centuries, their properties carefully catalogued and preserved. The sound of his footsteps on the forest floor is muffled by fallen leaves, and the air is thick with the scent of rich earth and growing things. You visit a Maya scribe working on a codex, his brush creating glyphs that record the history and mythology of his people. The bark paper is smooth under his touch, and the mineral pigments glow with rich colors. Each glyph is a work of art, combining meaning and beauty in symbols that speak across centuries. The scratch of his brush is the only sound in the quiet room, lit by the flickering flame of a copal resin torch. In the ball court, but not during a game, you observe the geometric perfection of the architecture. The sloped walls rise toward the sky like prayers made of stone, and the acoustics are so perfect that a whisper at one end can be heard clearly at the other. The court is empty now, filled only with moonlight and the gentle sound of wind through the surrounding trees. As dawn approaches, you watch the sun rise over the pyramid of Kukulkan, its rays illuminating the carved serpent that seems to slither down the steps during the equinox. The moment is one of perfect harmony between human achievement and natural cycles, a reminder of the Maya's deep understanding of time and cosmos. Feel the ancient wisdom of the Maya astronomers. Let their knowledge of cosmic cycles remind you of your place in the vast, peaceful universe. Chapter 13. The Japanese Tea Garden. Wabi-sabi, perfection. Your journey takes you to medieval Japan, where the art of tea ceremony is being refined into a meditation on impermanence and beauty. You find yourself in a small tea garden in Kyoto, where every element has been carefully chosen to create harmony and tranquility. The garden path winds through carefully placed stones and moss, each step designed to slow your pace and focus your mind. A bamboo water feature fills and tips with a gentle talk sound, its rhythm as natural as breathing. The sound of water trickling over stones creates a constant, soothing presence that seems to wash away the concerns of the world. In the tea house, a tea master prepares for the ceremony with ritualistic precision. Each movement is slow and deliberate, from the cleaning of the utensils to the whisking of the tea. The sound of the bamboo whisk against the ceramic bowl creates a soft, rhythmic whisper. The tea itself is bitter and sweet, a reminder of life's complexity and the beauty found in accepting all experiences. The tea bowl in your hands is imperfect, its glaze cracked and worn. But this imperfection is intentional, a celebration of wabi-sabi, the beauty of impermanence and imperfection. The warmth of the tea spreads through your hands and up your arms, and you feel connected to the countless others who have held similar bowls in similar moments of quiet contemplation. Outside, cherry blossoms drift on the spring breeze, their petals carpeting the ground with pink and white. Their beauty is fleeting, lasting only days before they fall. But this impermanence makes them more precious, not less. You watch them fall like snow, each petal a reminder to cherish the present moment. In the evening, you observe moon viewing from a simple wooden platform. The moon is reflected in a small pond, its image wavering gently with the movement of the water. The night air is filled with the scent of incense and the distant sound of a shakuhachi flute, its haunting melody speaking of longing and acceptance. Embrace the Japanese concept of mono no aware, the pathos of things. Let the gentle impermanence of the cherry blossoms remind you that beauty lies in accepting what is. Chapter 14. The Inca Terrace. Harmony with the mountains. Your final destination in this journey through time brings you to the Andes Mountains, where the Inca have carved terraces into the steep slopes, creating a harmony between human need and natural beauty. You find yourself at Machu Picchu not as a tourist destination, but as a living city in perfect balance with its environment. The morning mist rises from the Urubamba River far below, wrapping the ancient city in a veil of mystery and peace. The stone buildings seem to grow from the mountain itself, their walls fitted together with such precision that not even a knife blade can slip between the blocks. The silence is profound, broken only by the distant call of the Andean condor and the whisper of wind through the thin mountain air. In the agricultural terraces, farmers tend to their crops of quinoa and potatoes, their movements patient and respectful of the mountain's gifts. The terraces themselves are works of art, following the contours of the mountain in graceful curves that speak of deep understanding of the land. The sound of their work is muted by the vast space around them, and their voices carry far in the clear air. You observe the worship of Inti, the sun god, in the temple of the sun. The ceremony is simple and reverent, acknowledging the source of all life and energy. The priests move with deliberate grace, their voices rising in harmonious chants that seem to resonate with the very stones of the temple. The morning light streams through the windows, illuminating the altar with golden radiance. In the workshop of a master stone cutter, you watch the creation of a new building block. The worker's hands move with practiced skill, his tools shaped by generations of experience. The sound of stone on stone is rhythmic and peaceful, like the heartbeat of the mountain itself. Each block will fit perfectly into its designated place, part of a structure that will stand for centuries. As evening approaches, you observe the ritual of the Intuatana, the hitching post of the sun. The carefully carved stone captures the last rays of sunlight, its shadow marking the passage of time and the eternal cycle of day and night. The ceremony is quiet and contemplative, a moment of connection between earth and sky, human and cosmos. Feel the strength and peace of the mountains. Let the harmony of Inca architecture remind you that humans and nature can exist in perfect balance. Epilogue: the return to present peace. As your journey through the gentle moments of ancient civilizations comes to an end, you find yourself floating in a space between time and eternity, carrying with you the accumulated wisdom and peace of all the places you've visited. The voices of the past speak to you in whispers of wind and water, reminding you that human beings have always sought the same things: beauty, meaning, connection, and peace. You carry with you the patience of the Mesopotamian farmers, waiting for the flood to recede and the planting to begin. You remember the flowing rhythm of the Nile, carrying life through the desert of time. The ordered harmony of the Indus Valley remains in your mind, a vision of what human society can achieve when it values cooperation over conflict. The wisdom of ancient China flows through your thoughts like tea ceremony water, each drop precious and mindful. The artistic beauty of Minoan Crete dances in your imagination, dolphins leaping through painted waves that never break. The compassion of the Buddha's teachings spreads through your heart like ripples in a still pond. The connections of the Silk Road remind you that despite our differences, humans have always found ways to share stories, goods and dreams across vast distances. The leisure of the Roman baths suggests that taking time for restoration and reflection is not luxury but necessity. The Byzantine blend of earthly beauty and spiritual aspiration shows that these two impulses need not be in conflict. The contemplative rhythm of monastic life offers a different way of marking time, one based on prayer and service rather than productivity and achievement. The geometric perfection of Islamic art reminds you that beauty and truth are intimately connected, that the patterns of creation can be found in both mosque and mathematics. The astronomical precision of the Maya speaks to humanity's eternal desire to understand our place in the cosmos, to find meaning in the movement of stars and planets. The wabi-sabi wisdom of Japanese tea ceremony teaches that imperfection and impermanence are not flaws to be corrected, but truths to be embraced. Finally, the mountain harmony of the Inca shows that it is possible to build human civilization without destroying the natural world, that we can create beauty while respecting the gifts of the earth. As you drift between sleeping and waking, between past and present, let these gentle lessons settle into your bones and blood. Let the accumulated peace of centuries flow through your breathing. Feel yourself connected to the great chain of human experience, part of a story that began with the first farmer planting grain in Mesopotamian soil and continues with your own breath, your own heartbeat, your own dreams. The ancient civilizations live on in you, in the kindness you show to others, in the beauty you create and appreciate, in the wisdom you seek and the peace you offer to the world. Their gentle moments are your gentle moments. Their quests for meaning are your quest for meaning. Their hopes for peace are your hopes for peace. Sleep now, carrying with you the blessings of the ages. Dream of flowing rivers and blooming gardens, of patient hands creating beauty, of wise voices speaking across the centuries. Let the peace of the ancients become your peace, and may you wake tomorrow carrying a little more of their wisdom, their compassion, and their enduring hope for humanity. Rest now in the accumulated peace of the ages. Sleep well, knowing you are part of the great human story of seeking beauty, meaning, and connection across the vast tapestry of time. Sweet dreams, dear traveler through time. May your sleep be as peaceful as the gentle moments of all the civilizations you visited, and may you wake refreshed and inspired by the beauty and wisdom of the human story.